All right, welcome back. Joining us in studio right now, we have Blair. Now, you might have seen her before. She usually comes on for the Lafayette Mom, but you're actually a realtor.
Yes, I am a full-time realtor. Lafayette Mom, as so many women do. I wear lots of different hats. I am obviously a full-time mom. You never take that hat off, but you also never take your real estate hat off. Once you are licensed, you carry that license with you all the time, 24/7. So thank you so much, Taylor, for the opportunity to be here. I just wanted to educate the public about just the trends that we're seeing, give a little update. My social media is full of updates for where the housing market is and where we're going. And I really think that especially in this time, we are seeing quite a shift in the real estate market. So it's very important that both buyers and more specifically sellers make sure they know where the market is moving to.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of times too, it's kind of confusing. You hear about a market update, but then if you're a buyer or a seller, you're like, well, wait, I don't understand this. What does this actually mean?
Right.
So for someone who is trying to learn, can you briefly explain what a market update is?
Yes, so typically it'll happen, the market updates, at least the stats for realtors, we see those updates internally for our market on the first of the month, recapping the previous 30 to 31 days.
Okay.
So recapping the previous month. And a lot of times you look at these market updates, and I have people who comment on my social media all the time, like the graphic behind you, what do these numbers mean, right? So just explaining how the market has shifted over the past month. And a lot of 2020, 2021, even in 2022, we didn't see a lot of change. It was a very strong seller's market, and that is not the case anymore. So I think it's just important that we educate. I take it as my primary duty to educate all of my clients, because ultimately it's the client who's paying the mortgage and living in the house and making the move. So they really need to be informed, and that's what I try to do.
And I am so excited. You're going to give us a market update. She's going to be here for the rest of this half hour. And you have all the stats that you're going to break down and make it easily tangible and digestible for us. So Blair is going to be hanging out with us. So you guys don't want to miss it. Right now, though, let's check in with Adam Olivier. All right, welcome back. We are joined with Blair, familiar face on the show. So you're giving us a real estate market update.
Yes, so I'll kind of just recap what we saw in December. December, we did see solds down year to date a little bit. We're hovering around the 400 mark, 450 for solds in December, which is down about 24% from year to date the previous year. And there are so many factors that go into that. Honestly, we have seen an increase in listings, which means that there are more homes available now.
I feel like that's good news.
It is good news for buyers, because that rush of getting outbid, cash offers, extremely low interest rates, waiving, sorry about that.
I do it all the time. It's truly fine.
Waiving appraisals, waiving inspections, we're not seeing that quite as rampant anymore. And I really just want to educate sellers that it is so important that you have an understanding of the current market and not what the market used to be. So whenever I run comps for my clients, I'm going to say, look, here's what's sold in the past 3 months. And it is super important that you listen to buyer feedback in today's market. Interest rates today are in the 6.5, almost 7, and it really just depends on a lot of variables per specific buyer, what that interest rate is going to be. 3 months ago, 6 months ago, comps looking at sold data for that time period, the interest rates were way different. So the purchasing power of buyers has really changed a lot, and there's been a huge shift in the market, and I think sellers just need to ready themselves for that. It's not that you can't get a great price for your home and get the dollar value that you want. You just need to make sure it's realistic.
Yeah, and I love we were talking about this during the break. I love the phrase, you got to look in the windshield, not the rear view mirror.
Right. And a lot of sellers catch themselves looking in the rear view mirror because they're looking at past solds, right? We're referencing old data to see what we could price your house at, but buyers are looking forward and they're looking through the windshield, and you need to make sure that you're looking in the same direction that they are, because they're the ones who are ultimately going to purchase your home. And you know, in future segments, I'd love to come back and talk about some tips for sellers and how they can kind of do that. But honestly, we're kind of getting to a more balanced market than we have seen, especially during COVID and during the extremely low interest rates. So it's important to just understand, number one, interest rates drive the purchasing power of buyers. And the buzzword right now is sellers are offering incentives, and that can mean a lot of different things, but it's just understanding that sellers do have to budge now.
And I love that you're coming on to educate our viewers for this. We're out of time, but how can people contact you if they have questions?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram or any social media, Blair Broussard _realtor, or you can find me on my website, blairbroussard.com.
Well, Blair, we love having you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Of course. If you at home want to rewatch this, head to our website, klaf.com. Everything you need is going to be right there. Stay with us, though. We'll be right back after this.